the Last Jedi lit out a fart, and it still stinks.
I was thinking about that through the movie. Was there anywhere really good to live in this universe?
Well, Alderaan.
That was
Alderaan. Yeah, that was about it. They blew the fuck up, though. So whatever. We don't need that shit.
They're going to take
that day you didn't.
Dude, they're going to take my pointy ears and my fuzzy feet.
I think they already did.
Yeah, man. I judge the book by its cover. I'm an asshole.
Stick around, 'cause I am coming back. And I know someday I'm gonna make it better.
Talk about shit we talk about anyway. Just sit here.
Seriously.
That's the plan. That's the dream. But anyway, all right, let's get to the show. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Nick, Jon, and Jamie Show. I am Jon.
Nick.
And I am Jamie.
It is the three of us. The three. What did we say in the first episode? We said
Holy Trinity.
Yeah, the Holy Trinity. Partners in crime.
Larry, Moe, and Curly.
Three amigos. Dummy, dickhead, and doofus. Whatever you want to call us. We're Nick, Jon, and Jamie for now.
Not your mother's basement.
Yes, and not your mother's basement production. So we'll get into it. We'll start with the weekend box office. It's no surprise that the weekend box office, because we're practically into the summer season, but a Solo, a Star Wars story, came out this weekend. It opened up to $84 million. The big news, what everybody's squawking and talking about, is that it didn't do as well as everybody thought it was going to do.
As projected. It was supposed to do what, like 120?
120, at least 120, 125. But it's a Star Wars movie. You know, these movies come out swinging. So there's all kinds of speculation. Like, is it...
Do you want me to give you my reason, my take?
Of course. I was hoping you'd take this.
I'm going to take this one.
This is you, man.
I know people are going to say there's people out there saying it's a hangover from The Last Jedi, releasing 2 Star Wars movies in 1 year. That's full of shit, because they do it with Marvel all the time, and they fucking rock it. They just had $2 billion movies back to back and with less than 6 months. What it is people are skeptical because The Last Jedi fucking sucked. It wasn't good. So everybody's like, I don't know if I want to go and spend my money on a movie that I think's going to fucking suck.
Your main villain was Winnie the Poohin', dude.
It was one of those movies I was very, and I think you're right, Nick, because I was cautiously optimistic about this movie. Mm-hmm. I mean, we've said it before. We're in.
Yeah.
We're in. We got our money already, although anything that's going to come out, they're going to have to kind of earn it. But
to our points on everything, was this, for me, this was the first Star Wars movie in a long time I didn't see opening night.
Yeah,
every other one, I won opening night because I was excited. Rogue One, I was excited. I won opening night for that. I was in. Last Jedi kind of really, even for me, I mean, as you guys know, out of all the universes, Star Wars is probably my favorite. And I saw it, we saw it on Sunday? Yeah. 3 days after it opened? I mean, that's never happened to me before. Not because I wasn't interested in seeing the movie, just because my hopes, I wasn't excited about it, because I think The Last Jedi really put a damper on my feelings towards Star Wars right now.
Did you think it was just the Last Jedi? I mean, because you saw the trailers. Ron Howard, we said this before, was out pimping this movie hard. What do you think it was just because you're still dabbing the blood off your nose from The Last Jedi, right?
For me, that's what it was. Okay. I'm still infuriated about how much I disliked The Last Jedi and where they went with it. And these are the same people that did The Last Jedi, maybe not the same directors, but the same Catherine Kennedy, the people in charge, are doing these movies. And I'm just not liking, I wasn't liking the direction they were going. And it frustrated me to why would I get excited about something you're going to put out?
So even though they bring in so there's two parts of this, right? So they spend, a ton of cash, go through 70% of filming, and throw the directors out, the Lord and Miller, who directed Lego.
Actually, that did me a favor because I love Ron Howard.
Exactly. So they do that. They still have Lawrence and Jonathan Kasdan. Jonathan Kasdan's no slouch.
I know.
Empire Return. He did Indiana Jones.
And he also helped with the
He's a baller.
The Force Awakens.
Yep, exactly.
So, that's what I mean. Having all that there made me feel, especially when they got Ron Howard, made me feel more comfortable with it. Mm-hmm. But I'm just not a fan of the overall where their viewpoint. I think, first of all, we were talking about this the other day. I think they might be trying to push too many movies too fast. Star Wars, the whole thing was the whole,
But that goes against your Marvel theory, though.
But Marvel's a different entity, and first of all, they've earned our trust over the years.
True.
Yeah, but they didn't have it before.
Huh?
But they didn't have it before.
They didn't have it before, but it was a slow process, and they got there now, where everything they're going to put out is probably going to get 800 million or more. Where Star Wars is kind of going the other direction. Outside Force Awakens, which I really thought was a great movie, but now when you put it in the same aspect where Last Jedi places, it actually makes Force Awakens look bad because it changed everything that you were trying to lead into. So Force Awakens really doesn't mean much.
Yeah.
The whole storyline doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. It cheapens Force Awakens.
It does.
Because you're seeing these they're presented as a trilogy. You expect the story to be told over 3 movies, and you're like, meh.
You're told in Last Jedi that to forget everything from the past. It doesn't matter. You led the whole Force Awakens was to get the Luke Skywalker.
Yep.
We have to get the Luke Skywalker. That's the main point of the movie. Even though there was other shit going on, the whole point was to get the Luke Skywalker.
Well, I know you're chomping at the bit.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
No, well, I was just saying, all right, so seeing that movie, I took it as I took Rogue One, because Rogue One was fucking awesome. That movie was ridiculously
I dug that
good.
movie.
Okay, it was great. It was one of my top favorites.
Yeah.
And then coming in to see this, I was like, they fired a bunch of people or whatever. They brought in Ron Howard. And I liked it. I really did. I liked everything about it. But you're right. Nick is right. And I don't know why, but the Last Jedi lit out a fart and it still stinks. It's lingering, dude. And I'm still smelling it. And I think it's it's inhibiting my senses to where it's I like it. I know I like this, but man, that really fucked me up, dude.
She could be the hottest chick in the bar, but she still stinks a little bit.
Exactly. And it
it's like when they say Christina Aguilera smelled like hot dogs.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't think that would faze me, but yeah, you're right. No, but anyway.
I actually like hot dogs. It's like a cherry on top there.
But I'm going to go with saying this. If say Return of the Jedi, or not Return, Last Jedi
was
never happened.
Yes.
I think Solo would have
kicked
fucking ass.
And
that's a shame. You know what I mean? If you think about that, I don't know why it does that, but it did.
And what pisses me off the most is these critics out there, they're still backing their story about how well they like The Last Jedi, and they will not say it's the reason why Solo's doing bad. They're saying it's because it's a hangover, too much Star Wars, blah, blah, blah. Solo's just not that good of a movie.
Nah, it's a good movie.
It's a good movie.
It sounds like people begging for their jobs.
They did
it sounds like.
Right. You know what I mean? Catherine Kennedy, and they just can't admit that The Last Jedi, quite frankly, could be the beginning of the end for the Star Wars movies.
Let's put good money on it. What do you think? Will that Rian Johnson gets his contract pulled?
That's possible.
What, for the next trilogy? I hope to God.
I think they should really.
What do you think? You think it's possible?
Well, I think they should sack.
They're already
up.
in pre-production with it, though.
But I think they should sack up.
70% of a movie was shot, and they fired the directors.
They have enough money where it's just like, dude, let's sack up. Well, and let's stop what we're doing and say, you know what, we fucked up.
Yeah, I hear you.
And let's start from scratch.
But let's.
They're not going to get rid of Last Jedi, but then they have the opportunity making 9. 9 is going to be the tell-all because there's no other.
Dude, I'm
there's
sorry,
no
but
other movies.
9 has got to be like Titanic, Avatar, fucking every Godfather. It's got to be all rolled into one for that thing to even make a dent on what The Last Jedi did.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't know how.
That's a shame to say, but that's a fact. That is a cold, hard fact.
I agree with you, and I'm not. I won't be there opening night for 9. I just don't think I can do it.
So think about this. Say they bring Luke back, right?
What is like a Force ghost?
But he's like a Force ghost, not just. He's got to be more like a Force ghost, like what he Force projected, right? Mm-hmm. A little bit more.
What even happened? I fell asleep.
Less see through, less see through, and a little bit more tangible, right?
All right, like he's even more powerful than most.
Almost,
yeah,
physically there. Right?
Yes, I got you.
That might be an entry.
Okay,
right? I'm just trying to do some retro, like if I'm these guys trying to put a new face on this thing. So they do that, right? They somehow tie back because there's rumors to say that the Kira character, and we'll get into more of this right after the news, but the Kira character is actually the mother of Rey.
Kira, oh really?
Yeah. So Han and her get together, and their baby is Kira.
Yeah, but it still doesn't have a Jedi lineage.
Or they what's first? Is it Kenobi and then 9, or 9 and then Kenobi?
No, 9 and Kenobi.
Shit. Anyway, I'm grasping here, but I'm trying to figure out how they can salvage it. But regardless,
they can't. I mean, let's face the facts.
Can't unfuck this, huh?
No, you cannot unfuck this. Like I'm saying, I am not joking.
Time travel, my friend.
But
figure it out. But I don't like time travel, but fucking do it.
I know.
No, what would have been great is if in the next movie. Someone unearths the Infinity Gauntlet.
That's what they could do. It's a dream. It was like Luke wakes up and is like, that's a horrible dream. And then they go from there.
He should have woke up when he saw Kylo Ren with his shirt off. That should have ended right there.
He's like, go back to sleep. He's hot.
He wakes up and he's like, who was that Snook character?
Kylo Swole. Yeah, who was that? So let's continue with the box office real quick. Deadpool 2, not surprising, is running is number 2 in the box office. They're still doing numbers. You were right, Nick. It was $43 million.
Still
weekend.
good though, man. For a sec,
Yeah.
I mean, he'll probably get to 250, probably just 250 before he's all done. There's just too many new movies.
Well,
coming
total
out.
gross is 208.
Yeah, but I'm just saying every week because now we're past Memorial Day. There's going to be new releases.
True.
I would put money on 270 is probably the max.
So the next big one coming out is they got Hotel Artemis, but I don't think that's a contender. But Incredibles 2, that's coming out June 15th, so in 2 weeks. And you're right, they're just going to keep drafting money with that the next big movie that comes out.
That's why like Marvel and all those and Star Wars probably started it. Wants to release in these odd months because then you're the only big name. You don't have to worry about some like Black Panther. There was really no good movies from time Black Panther and Infinity War opened up. There was a couple decent movies, but nothing that was like, wow, I got to go see that. And that's why it gained so much steam, I believe. Not to mention it had the black community behind it, which was, a marketing wonder.
We have an event. Black Panther is finally out of the top 10.
Holy shit. Dude, that movie was fucking good. I watched it again the other night. And I watched it since I bought it. I watched it probably 3 times.
Dude, and I think that's the only reason it's out of the top 10 because you can rent it now.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I'm telling you, that fucking movie's good.
Yeah.
I want to watch it again.
What a hell of a run, though,
It is
man.
good, dude.
What a hell of a run.
Yeah, seriously.
How much did it end up total with?
I think it was at 1.6. Hold on, I'll take a look. Black Panther.
Did it beat Last Jedi? Please tell me it beat The Last Jedi.
Black Panther.
That's what they got to do. They got to put Chadwick Boseman in
1.3.
episode 9.
Didn't beat the Last Jedi.
He could
That's
be
like a Jedi.
He could be Poe's love interest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Avengers is still rocking. Did 17 million this weekend. That's Nick. You mentioned that earlier. It's at 1.9.
It's gonna break 2.
Yeah, no doubt. 1.91. And then it's these series of movies that we're frankly not into. But Cindy's actually going to go see Book Club this week. That's number 4.
Where's Rotten Tomatoes on that? I just got to know.
Rotten Tomatoes on Book Club? I'm not even sure.
That's an artsy film, so you know that got high.
But is it an artsy film or is it a comedy?
I thought it was a horror.
Is it?
I don't even know. You know what I mean?
I judge the book by its cover. I'm an asshole.
And I know you're going to say Life of the Party. Is that on there still?
Life of the Party.
Is Jamie on there?
Yeah.
Life of the Party's number 5. And it's got Jamie as a little emoticon right next to it.
Still sleeping on the couch, dude. Hanging out.
Breaking In is at number 6. Show Dogs number 7. Overboard. God damn that movie. I can't believe it's making a liar out of me. A Quiet Place is still in the top 10. That movie's still kicking ass. $180 million total gross. I don't even know what RBG is, but RBG is rounding out number 10.
I don't know what that is.
With $1.2 million.
I know what RPG is. I used to love playing those.
Yeah, I didn't know what IUD was, though. I'm the ignoramus.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was for the longest time either.
Really?
I got to tell you the story some other
Intrauterine
time.
device.
I found that.
Thank God for Deadpool.
Discovery.
Deadpool's educating us. So that's the weekend box office. As a result of, just to dip into the news, as a result of this slump, this sort of not $125 million weekend for Solo, Disney's stock actually went down.
Just because of that?
Yeah. Well, they related to that.
Fire Catherine Kennedy and we'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I think she needs to go, man. If we're going to get rid of Ryan Johnson,
yeah,
get rid of fucking her too. Because I don't think she knows I don't think she has, like I said a couple episodes ago, the vision to do it, man. I think when you're in that kind of role, Feige does it so well where he looks not just next year, but he looks at the grand scope and it's like, I want to make movies that I want to watch because I'm a fan. I don't even think she was ever a fan of Star Wars. I just think she's just a big time producer that George Lucas happened to like.
I think she kicks ass at her job, and I think her job is getting shit done.
Right, but I'm talking about
getting shit done is not creating a franchise.
Right. I mean, that's
especially one as sacred as Star Wars too. It's like you got to be careful. You're kind of walking on eggshells. But like I said though,
and she fell
the
through.
bar was low already because you had like your Jar Jar Binks deal that you could have stepped on, and that's like I said before. That's all you had to do, and people would have gobbled that shit up.
And they did. They would have Force Awakens.
They would have been sucking that proverbial dick.
Yeah.
They would have been like, oh, that Star Wars is so great, man. You know what I mean?
Well, look at this. The Force Awakens comes out, then Rogue One. Why do you think Rogue One, not to mention it's a great movie, it is, but why do you think it did so well at the box office? Because Force Awakens was a fucking good movie. Now you make it look like shit because you put The Last Jedi in there and the momentum just shifts downward.
Yeah.
I would love to know the rentals and all that sales of The Last Jedi since that came out. I guarantee they will not even come close to The Last Jedi, The Force Awakens. I bet you it took a huge dip there.
Well, yeah, we capture box office, right?
We never do rentals or anything like that.
Rentals and merchandising and
I bet you there's nobody's going out to
Blockbuster rentals.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Remember in Spaceballs, Yogurt, was talking about it's all about the merchandising, right?
Yeah. The flamethrower.
That's how I'll tell you
Kids
what.
will love that one.
Yeah. That's how George Lucas crushed. I mean,
that's where he took the merchandising rights because nobody wanted it.
Yeah.
They're like, because first of all, there was no such thing as merchandising rights back then.
Yeah.
Like nobody actually thought to have to put action figures out there for
dude,
movies.
they didn't even have the action figures ready for Halloween, for Christmas. People pre-ordered them. They got these cardboard cutout standees things that were like,
sounds like John's still upset about it.
I am a little upset about it, dude. I like my Luke Skywalker with a lightsaber hidden the wrist.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Or the forearm.
No, I hear what you're saying now.
Yeah, but so hey, if you strip all the fanaticism out of it, and you're big Bob Iger, you got to make a business decision, right?
Yeah, it comes down. Dollars and cents.
You can't spend dollars and cents. You can't spend this movie, it was under their charter, right? $250 million.
It's not going to make that much.
If it doesn't make that much, holy shit.
It's not.
Yeah, then there will be hell to pay.
It's just there's just too many movies, like you said. The Incredibles are coming out in 2 weeks. It only made $83 million. This by the time and then next weekend, I guarantee you'll
It's not going to go up.
It's only going to be around 150 by next weekend.
But let's think about this. So, do you really think that they're starting to be honest with themselves on how bad that movie is fucked up?
Last Jedi, they have to be. The fans.
Seriously.
So
the fans have spoken, and when you drop, it's the only Star Wars movie. At least this one's at 62% fan approval. It's the only Star Wars movie out of any of them that dropped below 50. It's the only one.
It's probably the one that I've heard get bashed the most, and that like
coming from the prequels, that's saying something.
And especially
I'm trying to remember.
Dude, I'm telling you, Last
like
Jedi is getting beat over the fucking head.
Yeah.
I've only met one person.
Jar Jar
one person
Binks looks like a all-star.
I only met one person
No,
that actually
doesn't.
liked it.
Dude.
Who?
This Rite Aid manager, he's a Star Wars fan. He liked it. I'm like, I argue with him all the time when I see him. I said, dude, what is your problem, man? It's a shit movie.
What's that shit you be smoking?
Throw a brick through his window.
Yeah.
Drives me fucking nuts.
So yeah, the stock drops. It might be a good time to buy Disney stock. Wait for it to go down a little bit. We are going to get into the whole Solo review, so just bear with us. The other big news, and this is hot off the presses, is just shifting gears a little bit. Rick Grimes, Andrew Lincoln,
I know.
leaving The Walking Dead.
So
this will be his last season,
and that will be the last season I probably watch.
Yeah, and I think honestly, I hope they go out on top. I hope they go out as AMC's biggest success story.
You would think. I mean, I told you
Is
before.
that bigger than Breaking Bad? I guess it is.
Yeah.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad was only 6 seasons, 5 or 6 seasons, and Breaking Bad was like hot, like it burned really hot for a short time. This has been over years. I mean, there was long stretches.
Yeah, huge following
with the comic books and everything. And I always said it should end with Rick Grimes dying, but dying in a way where he like saves the day in the sense of where like these people actually get a fresh start. And I also always thought they would actually have like a hint to a cure or something. They haven't even touched base on that. I mean, 9 seasons.
One that Will Smith will come up with?
Yeah, right?
Okay.
But he'll listen to God.
Speaking of Will Smith. Oh, no. Sorry.
Getting jiggy with it.
But yeah, it's sad to say that after he leaves, I mean, I might check out the 10th season a little bit just to see what goes on. But I can't imagine me being fully invested like I am now. Because Rick, I'm sorry. If there's one character in that show that is the show, it's Rick.
Yeah, he's the glue. I mean, even off screen, you hear about the actors that just hold him in such, like actors that are on the show with him. They hold him in such high regard. He's like, the father figure, the brother. There's this adoration that in every interview I've ever seen, and they have the Talking Dead. So
he's the Marlon Brando, except he can read his lines.
And he's not a jerk.
And still considered, Marlon Brando was considered the greatest actor of his generation.
Yeah, but he couldn't memorize his lines.
I know, that's why it's so funny.
Yeah, I heard he was a real piece of work. But yeah, that's sad news. But honestly, I think it's time. I think it's time for
the show to go,
for the show to close.
I mean, because you felt it in this season, and with the ratings.
Good, now I can catch up.
Even watching it, I love this season. I thought the season was good, but there's definitely seasons past that I felt were better.
They needed to bring in Negan.
Yeah,
they need to bring in Negan. They need to have that big bombastic season where he was introduced at the end and that big catastrophe to the team.
Right.
And then have one more, I think.
Yeah.
I think they could have ended it on a high then.
Yeah. And this season should be the end, but I heard they're already, what's his face? Daryl, they're already tagged him with a $20 million payday for the 10th season.
Yeah, and that is a money grab.
And I heard, totally. And I heard Maggie's only in it for half the season next year.
Really?
That's what I just read before I came over.
Yeah, they're gonna.
Maybe it'll end like Seinfeld, where they all go to jail at the end.
No, it'll probably end like Sopranos, where it just goes blank.
Yeah, it gets blank.
Or it ends like Lost, and they're all already dead.
Yeah, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
I want my time back.
So, Jamie, you might be happy to hear about this.
Oh, reboot? Sweet,
No,
yes.
I'm not even baiting.
You're getting me hard.
There is a reboot coming, though. I can't remember what it was.
Oh, yes.
Something
There's
on
always a
HBO.
reboot.
HBO's doing a reboot of something. I was just trying to tell you this the other day, and I still can't remember.
Not
I forget.
true.
I don't know why I brought it up. Go ahead.
Jamie Foxx is going to be starring as Al Simmons in the Spawn movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I dig it.
He's talented as fuck.
Hell yeah.
right?
He's a
He hasn't
shit,
released anything good in the last couple of
dude.
years.
That dude's a shit.
He's an
man.
Oscar winner.
You know what he was good in is Bad Bosses, Horrible Bosses. When he's that freaking, he's the shady dude they go to.
Dude, Django, man.
Oh, Django and Jamie,
Fucking
man.
that movie was
awesome.
ridiculous.
I never saw that movie. I heard it was
Dude.
good, though.
He's
Really
a shit, dude. I dig him, man. And he can sing.
He's a triple
Can he
threat.
sing?
Yeah, dude. He's a man, dude.
Yeah. Sing, play piano.
They take my
act.
money.
Do that again?
No, I'm good. Thanks.
And there's a ton of news out there, but I want to get to the point as far as our review of Solo. So the last thing I'm going to talk about is Daredevil. They haven't got a release date yet, but they're introducing Bullseye.
Really?
Yeah. So that
Jacking it right now, dude.
feel free to grab a cigarette, Jamie.
It's not going to be what's his face like Bullseye with the
No.
bald head
No.
and
No.
who
Private Pile.
who played Bullseye in the
It
movie?
was Colin
Farrell.
Farrell.
Colin
Yeah.
Farrell.
Yeah, that was a lot of cheese on that cake.
Oh, bad.
So that's it for the news. We do have, as far as summer lineup, I mentioned it a little earlier. Next one I think we're all looking forward to is going to be Ant-Man and the Wasp, but of course Incredibles 2 is coming out before that. Incredibles 2, I've wanted this movie for a long time,
Looks
but
good.
I'm like,
I think it looks good.
I'm like, okay. I don't want them to do the thing that every sitcom does, which is make the dad the dopey dad.
Yeah, role reversal.
Yeah.
It seems like where they're going with it.
Oh, that is where they're going.
And let's make it a point that
and he saves the day at the end.
Yeah, but make the dad the dopey dad, like Ray Romano and like King of Queens and stuff like that. That seems like make them the dopey dad. Really hammer home the point that a mom's job is harder than any job on the planet. I think we can all agree it's hard as fuck, but it's an old trope. It's in. So I'm in. I know I'm in. I've been wanting this movie for a long time. I just hope they just don't take the easy route and do something silly like that.
No, I'm not going to watch it.
You want to check? I'm going to watch it.
I mean, I'm going to watch it, but I don't think there's only certain kind of. I can't go to movies every freaking weekend. I just think I might have to wait for.
John just wants to check out Elastigirl's ass.
That is one of the best scenes in that first movie, man. When she puts on, it's such a small moment. She puts on her costume, she walks by a mirror, and she just does a quick peek at her hiney, like, does my ass look big in these jeans type of thing.
Oh, just go back on news for 1 second.
Yeah.
You know the Muppets that they're suing that show, that movie that's coming out that we saw in the.
Oh, the one with Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah, there's a lawsuit going on because of that movie now.
Wow. Well, hey, hopefully it'll bring some attention. There's no such thing as bad press.
Got that right.
I just thought it was funny.
Yeah, so the next one, of course, is Ant-Man. Unless you guys are excited for The Rock to hit the skyscrapers.
I'm more excited about the Wasp.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, she's hot.
And really, as far as our summer movies are concerned, I mean, Mission Impossible Fallout, but I'm not going
That
to...
does look good. I'll give it
I'll wait
that.
till it comes out on video, but I'll watch it for you.
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, it's a video for me too.
The man who never ages.
Yeah.
That motherfucker.
I think he's taking some of those Scientology
And he still
kids
does a
sucking
lot of
the
his
youth
own
out of it.
stunts too, man. It's not like he's not.
Yeah. Dude, he was on the side of that airplane on the last one. They had to put these special contacts in his eyes so it wouldn't blow his eyeballs out.
No shit.
What?
Yeah. Legit on the side of a jet.
What the
How the
fuck?
fuck do you insure that as a movie company? He's your franchise. Anyway, nobody said he had his head on straight.
No, he's in Scientology. That's all I can say that.
Yeah.
It's a fucking cult.
Yeah. So real quick, we're going to do fact check. God damn it.
John, this is all you this week for sure.
I know.
And this was your genre, so
I know.
That's why I backed off.
It's
I kind of smelled it, and I was like, yeah.
it's like me getting something wrong about Star Wars. You would toast me.
I'll
with
let you.
that.
I'll let you pull your own card.
Fact check. Lord of the Rings, as much as I insisted on last episode, and Nick was 100% right, was not directed by goddamn Guillermo del Toro. I knew this too. They're going to take
That day you didn't.
Dude, they're going to take my pointy ears and my fuzzy feet.
I think they already did.
Yeah, man.
It, of course, was directed by Peter Jackson. I used to watch the behind-the-scenes footage.
You
all
can
that
never
shit.
go to Comic-Con.
You can talk
dressed up as
Elvish.
Anybody. I know, right? He probably can. We can talk Klingon. He goes Elvish.
I even made a reference about my wife having one ring to rule them all.
You did.
Yet you couldn't remember the guy who did it all.
God damn it. He did. Oh, well. Anyway, I guess I have to live with my shame. Nick, you had mentioned Happy Days as far as when we were talking about Ron Howard. Happy Days, I thought was started in the 80s. It actually
70s, right?
74, yes.
Oh, is that early? I thought it was.
all
Dude, I really should stand up for myself more, right?
I thought that was late. So no shit.
Yes.
I see. I wasn't sure, so on either of those points, so that's why I didn't.
I remember watching it in the 80s. That's what it was.
That's what I watched.
That's my excuse anyway. Deadpool 1, we were a little unsure about this fact. Deadpool 1 actually opened up on President's Day weekend in 2016. It opened to $132 million.
Damn, what did we say? 125 too?
I think we said it was like 131 or something like that because it was in comparison to Deadpool 2 that opened up at 125.
Ah, I got you.
We kept screwing up the start of the movie of Solo. We were like Aiden, Alden, whatever. Turns out it's Alden Ehrenreich. And we keep doing this one too. It's not so much a fact check. It's just a sort of admission of our idiocy, which is it's not Emily Clark. It's Amelia Clark. Who's the small one. And then Nick, this is more. Nobody was really wrong about this. We just weren't positive. But you had mentioned we weren't positive about who was putting in the bid for Fox.
It is Comcast.
It is Comcast. And it's for it's a little more than $10 billion more.
Oh, so that's ongoing.
It's $10 billion more than what Disney put in.
Yeah, I think Disney was in for $52 billion, and I think Comcast is plus $62 billion. Or plus $60 billion.
This is where they break their dicks out, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Whose is bigger?
Sure.
What company is bigger? Just curious.
I don't know. I don't know what they're traded for. I know Disney's massive.
Disney, fuck, dude. Disney, man. They're like, I would have to say Disney. Comcast is big.
Did you know, I think Netflix just came out saying their IPO is big. Their stock's trading more than Disney's now.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That's crazy.
But here, get this. If Fox backs out on the deal, it's a breakup fee of $1.52 billion.
Ugh.
Ooh, they have to pay Disney?
Yeah, and Solo just shit the bed. They're not even going to get that Solo money to cover the cost.
Right.
Oh, my God.
What about Ryan Reynolds news with Netflix, and guess who's going to direct?
Yes, Michael Bay.
Oh, God, no.
What are they doing? I didn't even hear this.
The only
No
person
idea.
that's worse than him right now is Ryan Johnson. Jesus Christ, dude. These guys just are, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's gonna.
They're
screw us
roommates.
Yeah, probably sucking each other's dicks.
And and just I guess have one fun fact, and this is leading into Solo. Ron Howard has his brother Clint Howard in all.
Oh, he did. I saw it in the movie. Yeah,
He was one of the Imperial Guards.
He's an ugly motherfucker. I'm not a good-looking dude, but he's an ugly motherfucker.
And of course, Warwick Davis was in it from Willow. He was
yes. I guess that's why everybody's they're saying Willow's coming back. Maybe is that why they're doing it, or?
I mean,
I think Willow's coming back.
I think it would be cool as hell. Now he's older. He could be a wizard.
Don't get me wrong. I almost went looking for Willow the other day on a search. I was going to do it and I forgot. You guys all started talking about it, and I haven't seen Willow in
It's a fun movie, man.
15 years.
Yeah, anything with my childhood, I'm bought in, I guess.
Yeah, except when it doesn't hold up.
No, yeah. Or they reboot the bastard.
Yeah, like some of them just
Like if you go off of it, I'm good. But if you reboot that bastard mess, like I'm out.
So you're not in for Overboard?
Nah.
All right, let's get into it. So topic for this evening, we're going to get into Solo, of course. We've been dancing all over this thing for the past couple of weeks. And of course, the preamble, more than a preamble, the beginning of the show. We watched Solo. We went out. We didn't go out together this time, though. Didn't go out even on opening night. You know, I took the fam on Saturday. You guys went out as boyfriend and girlfriend on Sunday. And what you guys think?
Go ahead, Jay.
The peanut M&Ms are delicious. Nah, that movie was good. I liked, like, his buddy, Nick's buddy Mark always brings up, like, the vehicles were true. You know what I mean? They kept that. I think somebody, like, watched out for that. That was pretty cool. The story was really good. The characters were good. The actors were good. Actresses as well. Mm-hmm. Very good. I really like how they tied everything together. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I did not like. Are we doing spoilers here?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
okay. We always do spoilers.
Well, let's do this. Recommendations. The thumbs up, thumbs down,
Thumbs up.
Yeah,
Thumbs up.
I'll give it a thumbs up. Definitely go out and pay for this movie for sure. But if you haven't seen it, we're gonna like we do always in our reviews.
Are you talking about the end with?
Yeah. So
yeah, I agree with you there. By the way.
Okay.
We're gonna spoil some shit. So shut this off if
you
you don't want to
didn't
get
need
spoiled.
that. If you know Star Wars, you didn't need him to light that shit up.
Yeah. So at the end, all right. Well, I got two things with the end. Okay. So Darth Maul comes in at the end, right? The first thing I did,
he had magic legs.
You know he was. Well, he was the regular guy who did Darth Maul.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
yes, it was
same guy. Different voice though. It was the voice from the cartoon from the Rebels.
That's cool.
But it was the regular guy that was from.
That's cool. That's Ron Howard being Ron Howard, man.
Exactly.
But this is what one, he didn't need to grab the lightsaber. That was a little fucking unnecessary. That was like, it's like, hey, let's throw a lightsaber in here just to say we did it. Okay, I did not dig that, and I also didn't dig the fact that I had to ask Nick, why the fuck is Darth Maul in here? Yeah. Like, I'm into Star Wars, not so much into the cartoons. I watched a couple episodes of the Clone Wars, not the Rebels cartoons. So apparently I had to watch that shit to know what the fuck just happened there.
Well, once they said...
Nick filled me in. I'm good now.
Once Disney took over, they said everything's canon from previous production. That was like not books, but anything that was out there on video or everything that was all considered canon. And then when Disney bought them, Disney announced a new show called Rebels. So I figured, like how Marvel does it with putting, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., there was always a linkage between the two a little bit. So even though I know it was a kid's cartoon, I'm like, shit, I don't give a shit. It's 20 minutes of my day. I'll check them out. You know what I mean? Just in case if anything pops up. Sure enough, this one did. And like I said to you earlier, Jamie, when we were driving over, this one is not that big a deal because you can explain it real easy. If they do Ahsoka, if she jumps into one of these movies, then you probably would have to watch a lot of it because her character's big and all that.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, now it sucks because now I'm going to probably watch it.
Watch Rebels.
Yeah, like I'm like, fuck.
And they introduced time travel in Rebels. That's why I brought it up before.
I don't care. I'm fine with the time travel. That doesn't really bother me as much as you guys, but I'm in the time cop. You know what I'm saying?
I hate it.
No, I'm just fucking with you. But
no, I like time cap. I just hate time travel
I know what you're saying, but
sloppy writing.
That was my only negative, really. That movie I thought was pretty damn good. And like I said, it's the fart from The Last Jedi.
No, it totally is.
That stunk. Like, and I feel so bad. Like, I thought about it at the end. I was like, man, I feel like it was really good, but like, something's holding me back a little bit. Yeah. You know what I mean? From my excitement.
You almost want one of these characters like Mark Hamill or somebody just to come out and say what they really want to fucking say. No, really say it.
No, he was for a while.
He didn't come out and he beats around. No, I listen to a lot of his comments, and as fans, we can take from what we think he's saying.
Read between the lines.
Yeah, but I want somebody to come out and say, yeah, this shit sucked. I didn't like it when I did it. Yeah. My character sucked. The movie sucked, and this is why the franchise is in trouble.
Yeah. I mean, it would be a revelation. You know?
Yeah, but it's not going to happen because Disney pays. And,
and everybody
and they'll
still
get
has to make a
sued,
living too,
yeah,
right?
right.
And
I
you're
know.
right, they'll get sued the shit out of them, right?
I understand all that, but it's just, as a fan, you just want somebody to fucking, maybe like the only person that probably could get away with it as an actor is Harrison Ford because he'll give a fuck.
Well, and so but people still sue the shit out of you.
Come on, Harrison
He
Ford.
doesn't
He's
care.
probably the richest out of all them guys.
He's not as rich as Neo.
Probably not.
But it was, you got to look at this movie, right? It had all the power to be something truly amazing, right? They had the original writers from, we mentioned this earlier, Jonathan and Lawrence Kasdan. Well, Lawrence Kasdan, Jonathan Kasdan's his son, who did Raiders, who did Empire, who did Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens, directed by Ron Howard. This, after all the turmoil, he sort of pulled this thing out from the ashes.
Yeah, did you hear what he did though? I told you about this.
How he met with the crew.
How he met with everybody. Amelia Clark sat there and said she was having real problems. The whole crew was devastated. First of all, they weren't happy where the film was going in the first place. But then they were devastated when the two directors, Lloyd and Miller, got fired. And so he pulled all the actors aside personally. And, told them, gave them like a pep talk, made them feel good about themselves and made them feel like that they were their personal favorite, that he was a person, he was like, you're going to be my favorite. He didn't come out and say that, but he made everybody feel the same way. And they all bought in right away.
Yeah.
He just has that touch that like, he seems like a genuinely good person.
He's been in the business literally since he was a kid.
Yeah.
So he's seen every side of it. And
he's still humble too, which is amazing.
Yeah, right.
My sister-in-law met him at a movie premiere, or not a movie premiere, at a show in New York. She said he could not have been cooler and not more gracious. Didn't know her from anybody.
He's been defending the movie nonstop, even after the showing this weekend came out. There was like things he was putting tweets out there saying,
Yep.
It could be a lot of reasons why people vacationing. I forget what he was saying, but I mean, I don't think I hope it doesn't come down showing that it was a misstep by him, because I don't think
good.
so. I think
I'm going to buy it too. I'm going to buy it.
I'll buy that. I won't buy The Last Jedi.
No, I won't either. But I'll buy that. I'll buy Solo and not even regret it. It's good.
It's a good movie. I will buy it too because I love it. I loved it. I thought it was great. Do I think it's my top 5 in Star Wars? No, but definitely, a good solid movie that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
So I don't understand. I'm just beating a dead horse. I know I am. I just don't understand how Disney cannot see what's going on right in front of their face and why this is. If they blame it on Memorial Day, people going away, blah, 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 changing directors, that's full of shit. It's a decent movie. Even the guy that played Han Solo, I mean,
he was good.
He's good. He's not Harrison Ford. He wasn't trying to be. And he'll never replace Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford is Han Solo to me and always will be. But I thought he did a decent job. And, every other actor I thought was phenomenal. I mean, you got Woody Harrelson. I thought for his role, for his actor, for what he was doing, it was perfect, man. He totally double crosses him in the end. And Han
triple cross.
No, triple cross. And Han totally realized it, which was perfect. And then what the guy played Lando. I thought he was awesome. Glover. I thought he did the best job in the whole movie. I thought he would it's exactly how I picture young Lando to be.
Yeah, I think the movie. I like the movie. I like the movie a lot. I might even see it again. I come from a real extreme bias because I love this universe. Right, I love to sit down and literally like look around and try and grab as much as I can as I'm watching the movie. Yeah, because first of all, in my opinion, the movie is shot beautifully. I think from the visual standpoint, just
the Kessel Run was awesome.
All of it, just really beautiful. They actually shot outside, right? It's usually some stupid soundstage where you don't get all that. You got to have that mixed in, or it feels kind of stiff and plastic. The performances I thought were really great. I think the main character, I think the weakest performance was probably from Han Solo.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But he did fine.
But yeah, it was fine.
He had to go against an iconic character with an iconic personality.
I thought he was all right.
I'm not saying it was shit. I mean, you look at Aiden Christensen from the first movie, and you're like, oh my God, this is the worst. This is terrible.
No, he was horrible. He was absolutely horrible.
And this is a far better performance than that. I thought it was that part that, and this is kind of nitpicky. I enjoyed the movie. I had a blast watching the movie. I think I was so hyper cautious about it being, again, me sniffing that fart, you know, and it being something where I was like, God damn it, But then I also was
broccoli there.
But I was also on the other side of the fence, thinking to myself, like, am I wanting this to be good? Am I putting some blinders on because I want this to be good? And it really is.
You were nicking it.
Yeah.
Nicking the Last Jedi.
Oh, fucker. I knew you were going to go there. No, but you know how I am.
I know.
It's like you guys in comic book movies, and you see a Batman movie, you really want it to be good. You're jonesing for it. But I think this was good.
I agree. I
think the little twist with Darth Maul at the end, I think that's a good little segue for whatever they're going. Granted, the lightsaber, I think if you're a true Star Wars fan, you don't need to fucking see that. You know who Darth Maul is.
Yeah.
You know who he is.
So here's my problem with Darth Maul.
Because nobody knows the backstory now that you saw the shows.
Well, there's not a lot of backstory on anybody in this movie, right? Because it's like, all right, well, it's Han Solo. You get that he's in an orphanage, kind of, but the orphanage is a corrupt orphanage where their orphans are thieves, and it's part of this whatever it is. Like, you don't get a lot of maybe, and his dad's not in the picture. So
they do mention his dad one time in the movie when he's talking about the Millennium Falcon. His dad used to work on them in the factory. Yeah,
so you get a bit, right? And granted, they can only do so much with 90 minutes of film.
I like how he made it a piece of shit too. Like he's that was pretty awesome.
He running the Kessel Run fucked it all up.
No, like just like he's the one who made it a piece of shit, which is awesome. Like that was
he got rid of the escape pod.
Oh, that was so great. Like when he made it a piece of shit, I was like, wow.
Yeah, don't get me wrong,
but that was a good touch about the escape pod because of the first movie. They're like the Death Star scans it and. It's like the escape pods have been jettisoned,
Yeah. There's a lot of little touches like that too. I mean, I love that the fact that it's about it touches on these things like everybody knew it was a Corellian freighter, right? And so what makes it Corellian, right? Corellian is this planet called Corellia.
Yeah,
right?
it's a manufacturing planet kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like a it is like Allentown, or it's like
well, there was
the way Pittsburgh used to be, and after the
except Billy Joel's not making a song about it.
There were some critics that had the whole thing about the hyperfuel, like whatever they called that.
Yeah,
like that was never been mentioned in Star Wars before.
Coaxium was it?
Yeah, they were like
Coaxium.
They were knocking that, and I'm like, I don't really care about that.
That's cool.
It's currency.
But to be totally honest with you, I mean, they've never mentioned anything about the power source of these ships.
No.
So what powers them?
They talk about a lot in Star Trek about the warp drive.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, dilithium crystals
all the fucking time.
Like, yeah, dude.
But the
Vulcans had to say it.
It was if you go into it looking, I want to see a fun movie.
Absolutely, that's exactly right, Nick.
It's a fun movie.
Yes.
Yeah. If you go and look into it to see a bigger world outside this movie, no, go into it thinking, I want to see a fun
It was like
movie.
Wild Wild West, but good.
Yeah.
And no giant spiders.
Just get Will Smith.
It doesn't have a dark edge to it. Some people were down in it because they figured Han Solo should be darker because of his roots and all that. Han Solo was
Those people are angry at their parents.
I do like how she
they didn't get hugged enough.
I do like
They
how
didn't get that beater.
I do like how she put to him, and she goes, "You might put on this smuggler-like type attitude, but deep down, you're the good guy."
Yeah, well, that's why Leia fell in love with him.
Right.
Yeah, that was
and
good.
it's like that's why he came back. It wasn't just for the money.
Yes.
And then for the first Death Star, he came back because he's like, I got this kid I've been looking after for a couple weeks, and all that stuff.
She was really good in that movie, by the way.
She was.
She was awesome in that movie.
Amelia Clarke?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now.
I didn't want to say her name.
Hotter.
Oh, yeah. Besides
I
the
remember
fact that she's smoking
I know
hot.
the first season of Game of Thrones, she got naked, and she was cute, but I think she's hotter now than she was then, obviously.
Yeah, she's definitely easy on the eyes. The Chewbacca. God damn, did that guy did that?
I like how they threw in like him ripping arms off. That was awesome. like I was like, dude, when they did that, I was like, thank you.
Thank you. And he the first scene when they're they get into it, and
These are dead bodies.
It's the first time I saw him get physical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He never gets physical in any of the movies or anything like
Yeah.
that. The Ewoks kicked his ass.
Always thinking with your stomach, Chewie.
Now you know why.
Because it'll eat anything in sight, you know. But I thought that, you know, he kicked ass. I mean, you know, charming as hell. I mean, you're right about the performances. Amelia Clarke was awesome. Paul Bettany, who was the big baddie.
I thought he was pretty good.
He was probably, think about all the villains in those movies. Yeah, Darth Vader had a presence like nobody's business, right?
Yeah.
And he was like
the top
evil
guy. Yeah, he was like the top.
Yeah, but this dude played like a crazy gangster.
Yeah, good criminal.
Good criminal.
That's what it was, though. You know, the Star Wars Rebels was the organization where Darth Maul created was a gangster. It was actually considered the third strongest, powerful organization outside the Emperor. Then the Rebel Alliance. Then it was
the Crimson Dawn.
Yeah, the Crimson Dawn.
Oh, so that was in Rebels.
That was in Rebels. They were him and his brother.
See, motherfucker, you got to watch it too.
Actually, his brother finds him when he has the spider legs.
I saw that one.
His brother finds him, then takes him back to his home planet, and there's like some witches that.
Yes, I remember that.
The witches.
He was telling me this. Nick was telling me the story about this. So, like, apparently, like, this could all show up in the Obi movie, obviously, with Darth Maul and him fighting Darth Maul.
Yeah.
And that, which is interesting.
It could. It depending where they go with Obi. I do not know.
If it's canon.
Obi, God damn it. Obi-Wan movie. Depending on where they go.
Obi.
Yeah.
Did I say
Yeah, you did too. You got me saying.
Fuck you, man. Fuck you, Ryan Johnson.
There's a I don't know.
But that would be cool, though. I think that would be a nice little twist to the ending.
Yeah.
But now I got to watch the damn cartoon.
I know. I got it downloaded. I'm still not through it.
You're the one who got me into it.
I know.
You're like, dude, you got to check it out. It's not bad. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah, I never got it. I thought the animation was kind of crappy, but the storylines were what got me.
That's what got me, because I knew the storylines were okay, and I knew they were going to have links to to the movies.
I see you get a bowl of Captain Crunch, and I'll be good, dude.
Oh man, you just made me want Captain Crunch with crunch berries, of course. But anyway, I digress. I thought it was shot really well. I thought all the sets were awesome. It's funny how all these stories start out in a shithole, right?
Yeah.
Like Tatooine was this dump
fucking hellhole.
I was thinking about that through the movie. Was there anywhere really good to live in this universe?
Well, Alderaan.
That was
Alderaan. Yeah, that was about it. They blew the fuck up though. So whatever. We don't need that shit.
But that was the point, though. Is like the Empire, they ran everything into the ground.
I guess Naboo was kind of good in the beginning too.
Yeah, that was good.
Before the Emperor got a hold of that shit and just used it for his dealings.
Yeah. There was, and what was the technology planet in the first three? The one with it was like a big city. It was
Coruscant. Coruscant was the home the Galactic Senate and all that.
Yep. But
that wasn't exactly nice to live. That was a dump of a city.
Was it?
Yes, man. If you got to the nitty gritty going down into
that's
it,
right.
It was a shithole. Only the rich people lived up fucking top.
Yeah.
It's like the Jetsons, man. Shit.
But it was I like you hit it right on the head. It was a really fun movie.
Yeah, it was.
It was a really fun movie. And if you go back and if you're going to be honest and you go and evaluate those, look at the original three, Empire, New Hope, and Return of the Jedi. They weren't Gone with the Wind.
No,
they weren't these dramatic Oscar winning performances.
I think with sets,
they were just a lot of fucking fun, man.
I think with sets, they were a lot more like that.
Yeah,
because even The Force Awakens were what's his face director.
J.J. Abrams.
J.J. Abrams tried to do it like that. I don't think he succeeded. I think it was okay, but I thought Ron Howard did a better job of making the sets like more like how they were placed.
That movie
I thought he did
like a Western, man.
I thought it was really well done. I mean, it's just a shame it's not getting the reviews and it's not getting.
It's that fart, man. Wafting.
It is.
It totally is.
I mean,
And I also think it was the fart, but I also think it was the
Dude, I think
the Han Solo. I think is really driving people back.
We just coined a term here.
The
I think that might be the title of the episode.
the fart.
Solo, ruined by the fart of The Last Jedi.
But seriously, it's that, and it's the iconic character of
I'm
Han
serious.
Solo.
Yes.
It's hard, man. I mean, most people are like turned off. I talk to people and they're like, I don't know if I want to see it because
I
it's
like
Han
how they.
Solo.
I like
He did
how
a
they
hell of
did
a
it.
job,
He
though.
did. I thought
he
it
pulled it
was
off.
great.
I thought he did too.
Yeah.
I want him to do more movies like this. Like I'm down with the Obi-Wan Kenobi movie.
That's it. I'm only down with that if they get Ian McGregor. If they try to go somebody else, I'm going to be pissed.
So here's the thing. They got to start making these movies to where, like, Darth Maul gets introduced. Really, Darth Maul was this character that was just so goddamn cool.
He was. That was a fucking.
I'm fine with them.
Right? But
Because
you didn't know shit about him, right?
Because they build it up through the cartoon and everything like that. It sucks, Jamie. You would have to go watch it.
But at least he has a story.
A backstory,
He has.
yeah.
He didn't have a story.
But he has a story.
Now he does if you watch the cartoons.
But if you watch Rebels, are you gonna find out who the fuck Snook is?
No.
Okay, that's my point.
But they're making a whole movie out of Boba Fett.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
And
I know where he came from, though.
Actually, I think that's
Mandalore.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Got that from the cartoon.
No, he was in the Clones. The
Oh, that's
second-
right. Jango Fett.
Yeah. So
He came from Mandalore, really? God,
Well, the Mandalorian armor is what he
I know he has the Mandalorian
But you know-
armor. I didn't know he was from Mandalore. Though.
I don't know.
So I know where the fuck
That's
he
good
came
Because he
from.
could have just killed somebody.
I got to
and picked
Wikipedia that shit.
We got you, man. We got to find out.
But that's what I'm saying, though. At least you know where he's from.
Yes, but the only reason you even give a shit about that character is because he was cool looking, man. Because he didn't really do anything.
Double lightsaber, dude. That was badass.
No, I'm talking about Boba Fett.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
in Return of the Jedi, how many words did he say in that? And how many words did he say in Empire?
He's no good to me, dead.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll get your money. That's it for the impersonations for this episode.
That was better than mine. I didn't even know that.
Give me your card. You got to take my Lord of the Rings card. I got to take your Star Wars
Damn
card.
right. Yeah. But I don't know what they're going to do. See, I like them introducing him, but they got to go somewhere with it. They just can't just introduce him and that be the end of it. I know they're slotted
No.
another Han Solo movie, but with the money it's not going to make, why would they make it? He's the guy who played Han Solo is on getting paid for 3 more. Well, he's not getting
He's
paid.
contracted for 2 more
Contracted
movies?
for 2 more movies, supposedly.
I think they're saying we bought Marvel. They got a recipe. Let's see what we can do with that recipe with Star Wars.
But they're not, though.
But if you think about it, they're not doing it exactly the same way because they're already into episode 7, right? So they're already kicked off the series, but now they're trying to sort of
Reel it back in.
Yeah,
they're off
this
in the
magic,
weeds, dude.
right?
Yeah, but what
off in the weeds.
they're failing to see.
Keep talking. I want to grab a beer.
They're failing to see is the fact that the episodes are the backbone of the movies, and if you have bad episodes, it starts to crumble. It's not looking like it's going to hold up. You know, that's why I'm saying 9 is so imperative to whatever they're going to do next. If they don't knock it out of the park.
Well, that's
it's not going to matter if the Kenobi movie's any fucking good.
That's what I'm saying.
People aren't going to see it.
Well, I think they should just stick to making like Solo is good. I'm sure Obi-Wan Kenobi can be good. I think they should stick to making those good movies. I'm telling you right now, as far as the episodes are concerned, I am not joking in the fact that it's got to be too bad, but it's going to have to be Gone with the Wind.
Yeah.
Grasp to be okay, I can wipe the Last Jedi.
Abrams
Which it's not
has
going to
a
be.
lot to-
Dude, it's not
to
going to
do.
be. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. You can hope and wish all you want. I hope I eat my words. I hope later on I eat my words and be wow, that was a really good.
Well, first
If you
of all,
put hope in one hand and a fart in the
Yeah.
other,
Yeah.
what do you get, Jamie?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yes.
well, see the main problem with these new characters they brought in for the new movies is you don't have no connection with them. The original movies, you got connection with Luke, Han, and Leia. Even Chewie, you had a connection with.
Yeah,
You never got a medal.
Yeah,
man.
you
yeah, right.
Yes.
No wonder
and you
There you
lost,
go.
and now you lost connection with Luke because now he's drinking like you think he's a nut job. He's drinking milk out of some fucking gimmick.
Yeah.
So now you're
Did
just
they
like,
spend millions of dollars to fly the fuck out there?
but that's what I'm saying. Like now you could give a shit about that. Princess Leia is like flying through space like with her eyes shut.
Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins.
There's rumors of bringing back Lando for the 9.
Bringing back the original Lando, bringing back Billy D. Williams.
That'd be pretty cool.
I wouldn't mind that.
They have to do something to spice that shit up because they ain't fucking.
They need some sort of rescue job, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, you can
I'm sorry if they're going to really spice. If they're really going to win anybody over, Rey's parents has to be somebody legitimate. I mean,
Yes.
I know that there's still a
Yeah.
tiny little window there. They never really said it. They just said he could have lied. I mean, he's a fucking
Dude,
evil.
think about this. Think about Infinity War, right? They bring
Yeah, the villain.
they bring Thanos in. He gets all 6 Infinity Infinity Stones. He obliterates half of the universe, right? And they manage to orchestrate fight scenes and introduce new characters on 5 different realms / worlds, and you get done and you're like, mwah,
Yeah, dude.
masterpiece. So take some notes, see what he did right there. Granted, there was 18 films before that, but even if you pull off half of that miracle with
it's not gonna
episode
be-
9, you've done your job.
So you know what they could have done, and
But they got to unfuck it.
But
first.
that's what
you know what they could have done, and this would have been a great idea: introducing Thrawn.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
That would have been a badass way to do it
Yeah.
in 7. This is
Clint Howard should have played him.
No, Thrawn.
I know what you're saying, but
I don't know if you know who Thrawn was.
but-
Thrawn was an admiral in the expanded universe. They actually introduced him in Rebels, which bodes well for future.
Yeah.
But he was such a polarizing character because he was so calculating. It was almost like he had no emotions. But he wasn't a Jedi. He wasn't a Sith. But he was just. It was all calculations. Lives didn't mean anything to him, but except him gaining his ultimate goal, which was appeasing whoever the emperor at the time.
He's the ultimate right hand.
Ultimate right hand, and
Unquestionable loyalty.
I'm sorry, but then they have General Hooks in there, who's a fucking moron. Come on, dude, it's just like silly.
You know, I had an epiphany the other night. Like I woke up. I think I had like a dream about it. Actually, I was like, you know what?
Was this after you finished your 13 Reasons Why?
No, dude, I didn't sleep. So how could I dream? That's a fact.
Could be a daydream.
So no, I was thinking, like, I think it was after Solo. I was like, you know what they're probably doing, and I hope they don't do it. And like, are they trying to make like Kylo into like Darth Vader, like a second coming of a Darth Vader?
Yeah, because he was a whiny little.
You
bitch.
know what I'm
Anakin
saying?
was a
You know
whiny
what I'm
little
saying?
bitch
And
too.
they keep like taking pieces of him and stuff, and then I'm just waiting for him to catch in the flames, and then next thing you know, you got Darth Vader too, and it's like, really?
Well, no. Think
Not to
about what
mention-
they said. He's like, they hammered it home. Kill the past. Kill the past.
That's what they wanted to do.
They're trying to
But now they're gonna have to like,
And that's why
now
all the
that-
critics
But
loved
now
it.
it sucks. Yeah. So are they gonna go? Let's reboot Vader because that's the thing. That's the only thing that'll save this.
Dude, there's a way to end it quietly. You know, you can end it quietly and gracefully and beautifully, right? You're done. You to your point, Nick, and I know this horse dead, beat, buried, disintegrating, or whatever, and we keep pounding.
Yeah, we're peeing on it right
we
now.
keep pounding on the burnt.
I just dug it back up again. Now I'm peeing on it.
We
I
just
shat on it earlier.
we just I'm gonna go really geeky. We just did the time stone and went back and rejuvenated. But it's one of those things where you can end that trilogy, end this legacy of storytelling peacefully in a beautiful, elegant way, and let these actors who are going to eventually die and go off into the sunset, really have it sounds corny, but an existential closure to this thing that took up so much of their lives, and do it in a similar way in the movies.
Well, you could, but we all know $1 million is going to fly into my lap right now.
Truth.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I would hope that too.
Yeah.
But the way it's going, dude, they're driving the bus and they just took their hands off the fucking wheel.
Well, I'm just saying because she doesn't have any idea where she wants to go movie to movie, especially with the episodes. Because the reason why that guy got kicked off at 9 is because he was writing a script to have Luke in it, and once he read the other script, and she's like, no, they're killing Luke in 8. I'm sorry. He got fired because he wanted Luke in it because she's doing it from episode to episode. I don't think she had a plan from the beginning, which
Shooting from the
fucking sucks, man.
Yeah.
Shooting from the hip.
I don't. When you have a trilogy, I'm sorry. All right, I could agree on some. If you're doing a 9-episode thing, it's hard to have a direct plan. But if you're doing a 3-movie set, you have to have a plan.
It's got to be beginning and end.
Yes.
And not that bullshit that Lucas said he had.
Yeah, right.
Which at this point looks awesome.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
So Solo, lot to love about the movie.
Hell yeah.
I think we're not over the moon. It's not cracking the top 10 list as far as our favorite movies of all time. But but God, it's a fun visit to this world that we know and love.
I can rewatch it for sure.
Absolutely.
And I would pay to rewatch it.
Yes.
I'm going to buy it. Fact.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will too. And Ed's saying I won't buy the last one. So
Truth.
I might not ever watch the last one again.
Yeah, I laughed at a guy actually in Target. Like, I was standing there, like, we were messing with the kids, and I was looking at movies, and he's like, man, I like this. I was thinking about buying this movie. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, it wasn't as good as the
Was it
rest.
Last Jedi?
Yeah, and I was like, well, good luck to you, sir. You know what I mean? I wouldn't wipe my ass with that
Dude,
cover.
you saw the pictures that Sydney posted on Facebook. Some cat showed up in full garb, man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
4 stormtroopers and a Darth Vader.
That's what it is. You know what Baker said to me? He goes, Nick, if you're one of these if you're in that costume as one of these guys, don't come to my wedding.
You got to come in costume, man.
That's awesome. That's just an invite, dude. That's an invite.
Dude, I will buy you a legit helmet just for the gag response. But there was a lot to love. I think there's a lot of good characters in the movie. Chewie was awesome. Emilia Clarke played, I did like the fact that they are definitely leading into, a sequel, if not a trilogy with these movies. Darth Maul, he's one of those characters that you would love to hate, because he's so badass and left such an impression on you.
But that was a Vader thing.
But Vader, at least they delved into a backstory with him in the beginning, right? Because it was like right away you knew that Vader just killed Luke's file, as far as what you knew from the first Star Wars Episode 4, right? And so,
but you'd love to hate Vader.
You'd love to hate him, but what I'm saying is, like, I would love to hate on Darth Maul because he's just cool.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't build a movie around just, he's kind of cool. There's nothing deeper than that. But anyway,
guy you don't know.
Yeah, there's not a lot of meat on him.
Jacket.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got a weird face.
Gold lame.
You don't know who the fuck he is.
Exactly. Did you like how it ended? Because
I did.
He does the castle. Oh, one thing I didn't like. What's this? I thought the story with the dice was that he used the dice in the card game and won the Millennium Falcon against Lando.
Well, that was just that he did at the end.
No, but he had the dice in the very beginning.
Yeah. Well,
see, I didn't understand the whole dice thing, and I'm a Star Wars fan. That's one thing I never got.
So supposedly, and there's mixed stories on this, he used those dice to play that game. I forget what it's called. It begins with a B, I think Bakan or something. I forget. Against, and that's how he won the Millennium
That's why
Falcon.
he kept the dice up there.
And that's why he kept the dice.
I guess not.
Yeah. So, but they used it as kind of like a symbolic thing.
I didn't get the whole card game anyway, because when Hans first sees sees Lando in Cloud City, he goes, "I won it fair and square."
Yeah.
Well, Lando was the one cheating the whole time.
Well, he won
caught
it
him,
fair and square the second game.
Yeah.
Right. I thought that whole shit was cool. I thought Lando Calrissian and Donald Glover.
Awesome.
Donald Glover, I told you before, I said it earlier in the show, I thought they all did a great job, but I thought for a guy that had to do almost an impression of what I would think a young Lando would be, he knocked it out of the park.
Did you catch the hand thing?
No, what hand thing?
So in the earlier episode, Billy D. Williams called Han a couple times. I think it was a couple times. Yeah. And so they write it in there to where he calls him Han, and then Han Solo corrects him.
He goes, Han.
It's Han.
I never want to see you again.
Yeah. And I read this online. Apparently there was another little Easter egg where Lando says, unlike Leia in Empire, he says he hates Han, and Han says, "I know."
Yeah,
like I love you. I know. But I was surprised that Kira was such a badass at the end. She wound up killing Paul Bettany's character, and then you find out she's of course working for Darth Maul.
Yeah,
that part was cool.
That Donald Glover too. He's like a rapper.
Oh yeah,
the Childish Gambino.
Brilliant, man. That dude is talented as fuck, man.
Yeah, he was really good in that movie, man.
He's a writer. He's a director. He does this. We mentioned
songwriter.
I like him in. I know he had a bit part in it, but The Martian. I like him in that bit part of The Martian where he's like that super geek, like super smart, intelligent guy that probably never sleeps in NASA, and he just like. He's like talking to the director at NASA. He goes, "Who are you again?" He goes, says his name. I'm the director of NASA. He goes, "Yeah, okay, whatever." And he goes back. I think he has a bright future, man.
He just did that video. This Is America with. Have you guys seen it? The song's fantastic. No. The video makes it even better. But it's basically a social commentary on. And I know we shit on social commentaries when they're real heavy-handed, but. This is really cool. It has a lot to do with gun violence.
I don't mind social commentaries.
It's done perfect.
It's like the 13 Reasons Why. I mean, they have a lot of that stuff in there. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, when it's done tastefully.
And not in my universes that I'm going there to forget that shit.
Yeah.
13 Reasons Why, you kind of expect that shit.
Yeah, you expect it, and it's well written. It's not like, hey, let's jam every fucking thing in at once so like you get a taste of everything. It's just like, hey, we'll write it in here so it's like tastefully done.
Exactly. I mean, we're expecting that. If you're going into something expecting something like that, that's fine. If you're going into a Star Wars movie, I'm not expecting that shit.
Yes, I get it. They're Nazis. I get it. Yeah. Thanks.
Although they did have a robot uprising in Solo.
Oh, wow.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, that's the only thing to really... I didn't care for that robot.
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit much. A little bit much.
Were you hoping they'd had sex or something?
No, that would have been way too much. Yeah. But who knows? I mean, R2-D2 eventually plugs into the uploaded consciousness of that robot when he goes to talk to the Millennium Falcon.
That's true.
Right? So
that is true.
Takes his little digit out and makes it happen.
Oh, jeez. You took it there.
Wow.
You took it there.
Star Wars just got sexy.
It's got totally weird.
It's getting late, dude. I think we got to go. John needs to be alone.
John wants to whack his circuit around.
Fun fact for this movie. First movie without 3PO and R2-D2.
No, they weren't in...
not in Rogue One.
Were they? They might have been.
They weren't in Rogue One. That's right.
They weren't in Rogue One.
But they were in, I think...
Wait a second.
Almost...
I think they were in Rogue One. Yes, they were at the end. They were in the very end.
That's right.
They were. Right.
So I take it back. Oh, shit. See? I'm all nervous now. I'm all nervous.
2 cards.
I'm sorry. You should be nervous.
He's going to be gun shy now.
Nick challenged me even a little bit. I cower.
Shit. I won't let you die on this one.
Jamie stuck up for me on this one. So
I did cower the last time. I was like, this guy knows his Lord of the Rings. Maybe I know. Maybe I don't. Maybe he was. I don't know.
Another fun fact. One last fun fact, and then we can close out the Solo review unless you guys have anything else to add. Jon Favreau, our favorite director / actor, he had a role in this movie.
Nah.
Yeah, he played, what was his name? Rio, the four-armed pilot of the ship.
Oh, get out of here. He was the voice of Rio, huh?
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, well.
He still should have been in a bear with big claws.
Bear with Not yet.
Swingers reference.
Deep cut. So I enjoyed the flick. I think we all can say, I think if we're doing the tomato meter, I know it's, well, let's just say it's a thumbs up. I definitely go see it. We dug it. I'm probably going to see it again. You got it. You're going to put it in your arsenal, right? In your DVD collection.
DVD collection, yeah. Blu-ray. 4K.
Right underneath your VHSs.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Like I said, I don't have like a big ass server in my basement.
We'll have to make that happen. So that's it for this week's episode of the Nick, Jon, and Jamie show. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for this week's episode. Please be sure to subscribe to our show on iTunes and Google Play. And if you're really digging the show, like I said before, show us some love. Give us a 5-star review. It'll make me sleep a little bit better at night.
Don't Last Jedi us.
Don't Last Jedi us. And also like to mention that we shifted gears. We're no longer being published under Engine One Studios. We're actually starting our own mini production company. It's called Not Your Mother's Basement. So this will, from now on, be produced under Not Your Mother's Basement. So thank you, everybody. Just a little nod in case you see a little shift in the descriptions. Thank you, everybody, again for joining us for this week's episode. And have an amazing week.